Boys in 3, 2, 1.
So off they go. There's the hooter, and they're very, very steady at the start. The drop-in takes them straight into the roller, and they're going quite quick. There's the Dutch bridge. They're over that, through the water. Now the cobbles. It's going to start to get narrow. Oh, they've gone. They were doing so well. When it started to get narrow, that's where they came to grief. Everything else was fine. But you've got to be ready for that part there because the track shrinks and you've got to make sure you stay on it. So next up is Anna Rolchers. Now this is a SpongeBob themed team. And they're very excited to be here today. The sun's shining, the crowd's out, and off they go. Can they get to ring that bell? The drop-in takes them into the roller. There's the Dutch bridge, now the water and the cobbles. Now it gets narrow. Hold it straight, keep it straight. Oh, they've done it, ring that bell. They've got to the finish. 12.36, what a run. And there are 3 prizes up for grabs today. Fastest, most creative and the all-rounder. The all-rounder is a mix of speed and creativity. A true test of body and mind. That was brilliant. So next up, the Spiegelars. This is Jemmy and Jaromir. One's an Ironman runner, and the other one is a wakeboarder. They live together, hence they've gone for this mirror image, one backwards and one forwards. The drop-in takes them into the roller. They're absolutely flying here, through the water and then the cobbles. Pedaling like mad and over the narrow bit, they stay on there, and they ring the bell. 10.93 is an absolutely brilliant time. There's looks of disbelief all over the place, and they made that look so easy, so determined, so aggressive. And they left nothing to chance, and they flew over there. Well, the Spiegelars made it look quite easy, but with 38 teams competing today, let's have a look at how it went for some of our other two-wheeled daredevils. So here are the current standings with the Spiegelars in the lead, but these are just the fastest times so far, with more competitors still to come. Stalen Ros. So where does that name come from? Well, Stalen means steel, simple, and that's what the bike's made of. And Ros, it's an old Dutch word for horse. When people swap their horses for bikes, they called them their trusty iron horses. Stalen Ros. Back to the event, where 2 very interesting bikes are waiting to hit the track. And we have Team Rups, Ronald and Patrick. They're both cousins. That's 24 points for creativity. That's one of the better ones we've seen today. And it's all about ringing that bell. They're nice and colourful, and they've got the caterpillar between the respective unicycles. It runs in the family unicycling, so let's see if this rather bizarre version of what we're seeing today can work. They're taking it very, very steadily, which you have to on a unicycle. Right, here's the old-fashioned Dutch bridge. No problem there. Moving now towards the water. That's okay as well. Caterpillars. Oh, the cobbles! The cobbles is a problem. The cobbles causes the end of the run. They're so disappointed. I don't quite know how you get a unicycle over those cobbles, and that's where it comes to an end. So now we move to Kaspar Tue, and it's Casper and Casper, 2 friends, study buddies, housemates, and they share more than the same name, we're told. So it's based on the Disney movie Ratatouille. Over the roller and starting to gain some traction. They're nice and steady here, through the water and over the cobbles. There's the roundabout. They've elected to go over it. Now this very, very narrow bit, they can see the bell and they've rung the bell. And they've got to the finish in 15.22, and in you go. Celebrate today, because you've made a mark and you've done everything you intended to do here in this competition. Brilliant run. no issues. And there is the bell rung emphatically at the end. So now we go to Team Hornback, Jessica and Janine. And this essentially is a wheelbarrow, and I'm not sure how much they can see. Get pushed off down the drop-in, over the roller. I think they're hoping rather than intending. They're over the cobbles, they're over the roundabout. Can they keep it going? Oh, no! So near yet so far. I think they were just hanging on and hoping, you know, and they couldn't quite see that it got narrow there, and into the water they went. So this is the good Zuckers. They're going for gold today. I have to say, it's a fantastic looking vehicle that they're going to be in. One thing that's worth pointing out, that creativity score of 28, and that's the highest that we've seen today. And it has a pumping drive mechanism, as you can see. And again, visibility could well be an issue. Over the roller, nice and smooth. Got to keep it smooth. Oh, they've gone. Never made it to the cobbles. Straight off. I think it's one of those situations that when you start to go, you can't really correct it properly. You just naturally overcorrect and drop in. So now we go straight into Hillbilly Racing with a great crowd here today, thoroughly enjoying it. Perfect conditions, the sun's shining, everybody's enjoying themselves. Let's see what Hillbilly Racing can do. Over that Dutch bridge, that's not been a problem for anybody yet. The cobbles might be, they're starting to wobble. They're starting to wobble, but they've kept it going. They're down, oh, they've gone right to the end. They couldn't reach the bell. And the fact that their feet have touched right by where the bell is, the end of the course, you can't have your feet on the ground there. That's not allowed. They did ring the bell, but the clogs touched down, and that's a problem for Hillbilly Racing. You can't do that. So it's a DNF for Hillbilly Racing due to that foot fault, but let's remind ourselves, they weren't the only ones not to finish the course today. So these are the current standings. It's still the Spiegelars in the lead, but with several riders left to take the course, will anyone knock them off the top spot? The next to try, Suske and Viska. Simone and Steph. And the judges there have given 18 for creativity. And this team have really been looking forward to this. Through the water, little splash over the cobbles. There's the roundabout, straight over the top of that. Now it gets narrow. They're doing really well. They're doing fantastically well. And they've got to the finish in 14.55 seconds. Magnificent run from Suske and Viska. And they're rewarded with a good time and a very, very smooth run here to get them to that all-important bell ringing. The issue they've got, though, it's not quite as fast as the Spiegelars.
Helaas, maar we zijn niet nat. We zijn niet nat.
So that's the bike that Grandpa boys are going to be on. And all of these bikes are looked at. There are rules and regulations that all of the teams have to abide by. And if you see something that makes it too big or the wrong shape, you cut it off, plain and simple. There's a lovely story behind this one. Grandpa's boys, Boyd and Skip, and they built their vehicle today from parts from their granddad's bike, who sadly passed away. So he's here in memory today. Lovely creativity score as well. They'll be very pleased that the judges like what they've done. Now then, time for the serious stuff. Can they get to the end and ring that bell? It's a very wide vehicle, this. The bike underneath Over the bridge, through the water, moving towards the cobbles, little wobble at the front, over the roundabout. They're starting to lose it, now they've gone. You could see it coming and so could they. A big deep breath as they went. Never really got it back after going straight over the middle of the roundabout, and when it got narrow there was nowhere left but the water. Now we have African farmers. This is a tractor. And just keep an eye on the team's creativity score. That's 21 for that team there.
2, 1.
Off they go. The drop-in gives you speed. The roller gives you a challenge, and they couldn't get to the old Dutch bridge. That's one of the shortest runs we've seen today. I think he knew right from the very start. Wobbly, 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 and straight in the water. Time then for Flying Hirsch, Jimmy and Max, two friends from Zeeland. They go on a winter sport trip every year. They've decided to do this year as well, just to add to the adrenaline. 24 for creativity. Now can they get a time? De Spiegelaars at the top of the leaderboard. Over the roller and the old Dutch bridge. Started to wobble, hits the cobbles. He's okay there. The judges looking on. Over the narrow bit. Oh, they were so near. They were so near. They were inches away from ringing the bell. They almost reached out and grabbed it. So unfortunate. Oh, my word.
Hij telt niet. Hij telt niet, helaas. Ik had het jullie echt gegund. Oh. Oh. Ja. Ja.
Best for last, toch?
Best for last.
Best for last, ja.
22 pilots staat hier naast mij.
So the
jongens,
final
met
team
een
today
vliegtuig.
is 22 pilots, the only team that can stop De Spiegelaars from winning this event. It's not necessarily about the creativity score now, it's about getting this bike from this point to the bell. It's based on the Boeing 737 MAX, and they need to be jet propelled here. And they've started off really well. They're over the cobbles. This is where it gets narrow. They're almost there. They can touch it, can they? Oh, they've come off at the end.
Seconden, 1800ste, helaas.
And De Spiegelaars have won the fastest time today. And they were so near, yet so far, 22 pilots. What a dramatic ending to the day. Had they kept their feet up, they might well have won. As it is, De Spiegelaars will jump into the water to celebrate. So the fastest team today are De Spiegelaars, and we say congratulations to them.
De Spiegelaars. De goudzoekers.
The most creative team today, the Goedzoekers. And the all-rounder and the body and mind award goes to De Spiegelaars as well. And that wraps up this year's Red Bull Stalen Ros from Den Haag in the Netherlands. Top tiers.